Right, so this video is taking off these wishbones and anti-roll bar, swapping it with Clio stuff. But first, I'm going to get run over. Right, so what are we doing? We're taking off the wishbones, which I think, because I'm going to keep the ball joint on, I can just undo the two bolts here which hold the ball joint onto the hub. And then on this model, the anti-roll bar is bolted, can you see that? Just about. Is bolted onto the wishbone as well, directly. And then there's the... Come on, focus! There's the mounts in there that have somehow got to come out and replace it all on the other side with new bits. And by new I mean old, but better. And this is what we're replacing it with, a anti-roll bar from a Clio 172, picture here, don't know what one of those is, wishbones from it, which are just a bit better, got more adjustment, plus, crucially, they mount the anti-roll bar in a less stupid way. And then some purple Powerflex bushes, which if you don't know what these are, they are, I don't know, some silicon style jobby polymer, and they are much harder than what cars are fitted with standard, so it just improves the feel. And considering the bushes that are going to be in here are going to be the original ones, they're probably going to be non-existent anymore. It's a very sunny, windy day for this. Right, that's spinning the top one now. It's the bottom one off. It's not a 19mm on top. What a surprise. An 18. Means this bottom one's probably an 18. There we go. Don't know how this anti-roll bar is going to come off. It's like a very small nut on the bottom. A good old 13mm. Well, that's just spinning the top. Annoyingly, the only thing I have that can hold a half-inch knob is my torque wrench, which is too big to go in here. This is going to be fun. There we go. There we go. Easy peasy-ish. Right, with those out and the anti-roll bar out as much as it's going to come whilst the other side's still on, time for these two jobbies, which should be hopefully fairly simple. I've also changed my top because it's getting warm when you're actually doing all this. Where's the other side? Oh no, it doesn't fit. Silly Billy, got to take that stay off, and then there's another bolt behind it. Now it's coming off easy. Right, so this is what was on there. That's what's going in there. That's a bit lighter. As you can see, there's a big hole in it. Not a lot of shape difference. These actually look pretty good condition. So I wonder whether both of these have actually been changed fairly frequently compared to these. But this is going back on. We just need to go have some pain with this anti-roll bar. Oh, this side was going well until the T40 Torx bit just destroyed that. So I guess it's time to grind this entire thing off. Good riddance. Right, we changed tops because it's hot work even though it's cold. Right, anti-roll bar held in. Where's my finger? There's a bolt in here, and then this jobby up here holds this very crusty mount over the bushing, which looks like it's had better days. This was a 17mm bolt, and that one in there looks like it's going to be a 10, so we'll whip those out. I reckon a nice long extension bar diagonally up in here is going to do the job. Where is it? I've undone that bolt, and then I've undone the one on top in here, but this ain't moving. Right, it's been an absolute pain. I've been trying to do everything through that tiny little hole with the triangle, and then just found out I can undo those 4 bolts, take that entire triangular plate off, which I thought was just going to drop the engine on my head, and I'll have a lot more space, because otherwise this is bloody impossible. That's these brackets off, and the horrible little clips. So this is, the anti-roll bar is now loose. Ooh, got the camera. How on earth this slides out of this Jenga puzzle, because this is this looks fun. Right, so that's it free, and because this is the Poverty Spec Extreme, I have a gear linkage here. It's me changing gear, which is now balanced on it, so I'm going to have to probably undo this bolt and slide it all along and off. I hope there's enough clearance. I suspect if you're doing this on a GT or a higher spec model where it's cabled, you just disconnect the cables, easy peasy. Yeah, fun.
Don't forget to like the video, and if you've enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel. Once you've done that, make sure you hit the notification bell and set it to all so you don't miss any future episodes. If you want to support the channel even more, there is a Patreon, various levels, and they all have different reward tiers such as YouTube credits and even having your name or logo written on the car. Lastly, there is a merch store where you can pick up some cool CrewTube or Project Twingo merch. There's mugs, there's t-shirts, there's all sorts, all colours. Link in the description below for all these.
Right, oh, it's windy. Black one's the old one, silver one's the new one. New. Time to do all of that in reverse. I started the day at about 10 o'clock and it's now about 2:30. don't think I'm going to get this all done today. Right, so that's those back in. There's a feet and a half to try and get this bar back in here. Somehow, I'm going to put that back in there now. Might get some longer bolts, because apparently that makes your life easier. And this is absolutely hellish. But before I bolt these in, I'm going to put the wishbones on. Make sure everything's in the right place. And just crawl into a hole and die, because this is horrible. I hope it's worth it. Right, it's time to put these on, so hopefully these fit. It should be a real pain if they don't, after all this time. Yeah. Okay, that's in. That's in. And then I'll be able to figure out where, come on phone, where this needs to sit with the doodad on the end eventually. Right, so let's put some bolts in these things. Right, remember, you always need to lube yourself up before putting these things on. I don't know which way around this is going to go, but we're going to put some, move my seat out of the way, put some dish soap on here, give it a good lube up. Gonna guess it goes that way, or does it go that way? Doesn't maybe showing you it. Does it even go on the bottom? I don't know, I'll let you know. I've decided it goes that way. So when that's on there, that comes up to meet it. It all fits in fine. Right, we're going to call it quits here for today, because I've basically knackered. So we've got hopefully everything in place. It all just needs tightening up, so somehow I need to bend that round there. That one somehow needs to join up with that. Same on the other side, same on the other side. And then this is all done. So yeah, I can already tell this is going to be an absolute pig to tighten up. But at least then it'll be done. This is weird, the goggles on. Ugh. Right, so what we're doing now is we're pushing this wishbone up with the bushing in here. Oh, come on, phone, focus, there we go. So we can try and get that bolt in here, but we are meeting significant resistance. We've got the other side loosely in. Maybe that'll help this side go in a bit easier. See how far off we are. Where's the hole? Up here. Oh, it's quite a bit wonky. We'll keep going. Right, so we used the jack in the end. We put the bolt in upside down on this side. Not this one. This is the ball joint I've got to tie up. So in under here, you can see the bolt. Normally that comes from the top, but it's come from the bottom this time. And then 13mm job to tighten it on the other side. So hopefully when I let this down, nothing's going to happen. There we go. Right, time to tighten up the other side. Right, so that is everything done back up again on this side. All the bolts that came off, all back on again. So we'll do the other side, and then it's the ones underneath, which are going to be hell. Right, the internet was not joking when they said this was an absolute pain to do. It is way beyond hand strength to do these back up, so at the moment I have a G-clamp doing this up, I'll put a cable tie in here to hopefully take up the slack, because obviously the G-clamp is over the bolt holes, so I'm going to do this up as much as I can, tighten up the cable tie, undo the clamp, and then hope it's all lined up, ready to go. That's where it comes undone in my face on camera. It doesn't help with the brake lines in the way here. Right, we're going to stop doing this one-handed.
One eternity later.
Right, it's been a few days. My knuckles look like I've been in a fight, and I have. Right, so this is at last back on. Thanks, wind. So this is at last back on. It's an absolute fight. I've had to undo these just to get some flexion in here. But essentially what we did is we used a pry bar. I don't have a proper one, so I'm using a carpet fitting one. And where am I? But basically just lever off there to lever it in and just jam that bolt in, and then I just wound it up through. On this side, we're going to try use some longer bolts to make our life slightly easier. I did try and use one on the other side, but as you can see it's dropped behind there and now I can't get to it, so that's probably going to rattle around forever and be super annoying. Well, the other side was tough, but this side is tough because there's a much smaller gap to work in. So now I just have to get a nut on the far side of that and then somehow tighten it all up. Right, that's both of them done. That was deeply unpleasant on the passenger side. I basically super glued a nut to my finger. My hands are shaking like mad because I could only get like a finger in there around the back of it. So I put the nut on my finger, put it on half a thread, and then ripped it off, and then I could get a spanner on there to do it all. But those are both done, so now I just need to redo these up again. Right, hello. The last piece of the puzzle is putting the subframe braces back on. So I just do them back up in the order. You check them off. There's 13mm, I think a bunch of 17s and a 19 or 21. Should be easy. Right, so that's all back on, wheels back on. Time to lower it down and take it for a drive. Once I've put all these bits back on, of course. Right, so we have a few problems. Now we're down on the ground. The steering wheel is straight. That's one side. That's the other side. So yeah, that's quite far out of alignment. So these scrub like mad going down the pavement here. Also, it doesn't go into gear. Anyone who has a Renault knows that first gear is pull the lever up and up, but that's not going up at all. And it doesn't really... Maybe that's second, maybe that's first, who knows. But if that's first, that's third, maybe that's fifth. These all feel very, very wrong. And it also doesn't drive properly. Right, we've got lots of warnings on the dash. Brake pedal is exceptionally loose, so that needs another bleed. That's not going into reverse. Let's do that. Oh, that's just popped back out. Which way are we going to go? Going forwards. Now it won't go in any gear there. This is probably fifth, so it's going to stall out. Yep. Is that first?
Luckily for me, these two fine gentlemen, Rob and Robbie, were in the area, as Robbie on the right there was getting his McGann swapped Twingo mapped EFI parts, and 20 minutes on the drive with three of us, we managed to pretty much sort out all the issues there and then. So the gearbox rod linkage had slightly shifted open, so that was tightened up with one of us sat in the car whilst the other one adjusted it, and then he took 1.5 inches of toe off each wheel to get them vaguely straight enough to drive. So again, pretty good turnaround for 20 minutes of time and much appreciated.
Right, so we've got a bit of vertical video going on because I forgot my GoPro, but everything is sorted, the tracking is roughly sorted out, and the gear linkages are roughly sorted out. Big thanks to Robbie from Ireland, who came all the way over to sort that out for me. He was actually looking at getting his car mapped to EFI parts. Or throw it around corners, but it is noticeably better. And if I just back away from this car in front a little, it's quite loud again. It's not fast, but it is loud. So that's good. Need to get it tracked and aligned. Because the point of filming this, in 1 week I am at Alton Park driving this, so I need to try and get it aligned before then so I don't destroy the tyres. Some cosmetic things to do on the car, give it a clean, but I think mechanically we are all good. Which is good because it's been a stress whilst the weather's been terrible. Sat looking at the car up on axle stands, not drivable, and then when I got it all sorted, the gearbox was all sorts of not in the right gears. So it looks like from Robbie's tinkering under there that when I undid the bolt, I must have not tightened it back up again. So then when I put it in gear, it shortened the shaft or lengthened the shaft. And then after that, the gear stick is no longer putting the gears at the right end of the gearbox. The tie rods he adjusted to sort the. I had some good positive toe going on, which was not helping move the car around when the wheels are pointing, trying to rip them off the axle. Luckily, they were all nice and loose and adjusted up fine. I think he said he took 1.5 inches off them to get them pointing vaguely the right way, and it drives fine. The front driver's side wheel is catching on the arch, so I need to crank up the coilovers even more. I already raised them up another inch or so they need to go up even more. It still sits very low, so I need to do that, and yeah, on to the track day.